For more than 100 years, the Civil War veterans' remains were unidentified in the Seattle area. And as News 8's Josh Lamberty now shows us, with the help of a national nonprofit, those remains were identified and recently returned home to Sabula. It's new tonight on News 8 at 10.
History rests along the banks of the Mississippi River in Sabula.
Greetings, everyone.
That's Pastor Barbara Hayden,
Let's pray.
who's adding to the history of this sacred ground.
It's an honor to touch the past.
Pastor Barbara has done burials of veterans before,
Sorry,
but she's never done one
I'm touched by it all.
like this.
This gentleman did a lot for Sabula.
That gentleman is Corporal George Heberling, who died in 1911.
This is quite a moment that we get to honor one of our Civil War veterans.
This kind of stuff doesn't happen hardly ever.
Don Wentworth works with the Jackson County Historical Society.
I know he was a state legislator and he was a mayor here in Sabula and very highly regarded.
It was 110 years ago when George Heberling went to Seattle and never came back.
There was nobody that claimed his remains, and they were put on a shelf, and they've been on a shelf in Washington State ever since.
But no longer. George's remains are now back in Sabula.
He's home now. Yep. His wife and some of his children are buried here. I would like to think that he's happier now than he has been for the last 110 years because he is home.
George Heberling did all of these things,
A lifelong servant,
and yet most of us do not know the name.
home at last, and now at peace, back in Sabula. Josh Lamberty, WQAD News 8.
The remains were recovered by the Missing in America project. George also worked as a lawyer in town and was later appointed to be a U.S. Marshal in the Northern District of Iowa.